Hi everybody, welcome to Calculeaf. This will be the first video in a tutorial series that I'm going to create just to go through the functionality of the application. So when you first open up Calculeaf, this is the screen that you'll see, and it's kind of split into three main sections. So what you have in the middle here is your worksheet. Towards the left hand side you have a panel which houses all your worksheets that you've saved. You can search those by just typing in this input box at the top. At the bottom here, you have a section here for your templates. So once you've got templates saved, you'll find them in this section. And then we have a separate tab here for snippets. And I'll go through snippets in a separate video. Up at the top, we have the ribbon bar, various different tabs. So we have the home tab where you can create new sheets, save sheets, import, export, etc. We have the maths tab where you have your operators, your functions, units, symbols. An insert tab for inserting various different types of regions into the worksheet. We have some text formatting options, maths formatting options, plots for charts and graphs, and then the document tab for changing the layout of the worksheet. So to start with, I'm going to create a brand new worksheet. So to do that, I either click the new button in the home tab, or I can click the new sheet within the panel on the left hand side. So I'm going to call this tutorial 1. Once you have templates created, you can pick from here, but what I'll do is I'll start from a blank worksheet on this one. So you can see in the left hand panel here, in the sheets panel, you can see tutorial 1 has been created. If you want to rename that, you can do that in this input box at the top. So if I name that tutorial 2, you'll see it's updated on the left hand side. So there are kind of two main regions that you can add into the worksheet, one being the text region and the other one being the maths region. So to create a text region, I can just double click anywhere on the sheet and that will create the text region, and then I can start typing. Text regions can be grabbed, selected, and moved to any location on the worksheet. You can select it like that. The maths region is created by just typing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable a, and I'm going to assign it the number 20. And to assign a number into a variable, I use the colon button. Underneath, I'm going to create another variable, b, and I'm going to assign that 30. And then finally, I'm going to create a variable c, and I'm going to assign that the equation a plus b. Now I'm going to type c underneath, and then instead of using the colon button to assign a number to the variable, I'm going to evaluate it by clicking the equals button. You can see that's 20 plus 30 is equal 50. You can also evaluate on the same line that the variable has been assigned. So if I hit equals there, you'll see you have the 50. Just like text regions, I can select maths regions and move them about on the page, put them wherever I want. I can resize them. I have a shortcut here to select multiple maths regions, right click, and then we can resize all to either the shortest length or the longest length, just to align everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to delete those, and I'm going to do the same thing again, but now I'm going to involve units. So like last time, I'll create a variable a, and I'm going to assign that 20, but this time I'm going to type the unit afterwards. So in this case, maybe I'll use feet. So I've assigned the variable a 20 feet. I'm going to create another variable b, and I'm going to assign this maybe 120 inches. And then like last time, I'll create another variable c, and I'll add the two together. And even though they have got different units, they'll still evaluate. Now, it's evaluated to meters in this case, and that's because of the unit system that we have picked in the home tab. So we have the SI system here. If I pick a different unit system, it'll evaluate to the correct units. If I want to overwrite this unit in the evaluation, I can do that by just selecting it and putting anything I want. So maybe I want millimeters. Once I've manually overwritten that unit, you'll see there's a kind of short dotted line underneath, and that shows that that has been manually changed. Now the units selection will not change that because that's been manually input. If I want to get rid of that and go back to the unit system that's picked in the Home tab, I can just right click on here and reset the units. So the last thing I'd like to just quickly go through is subscript and superscript. So to create a subscript, use the underscore button. And then for superscript, like your squares and squared and your cubed, use this button here. So I'm going to create another variable d, but I'm going to give it a subscript. And I'll assign that, say, 10 meters. Then I'm going to evaluate d sub squared. And there's 100 meters squared. Now I can change that. Maybe I want feet squared. I'll change that like that, and it'll evaluate. Anything I change up here will affect the result. And again, you can move those to anywhere you want on the page.